I'm going to spend the next few minutes breaking down whether the RitFit rubber-coated Hex Dumbbell set with rack is actually worth a spot in your home gym, or if you'd be better off putting that money towards something else. If you've ever stood in the aisle, stared at a stack of dumbbells, and wondered if the price tag really reflects the day-to-day experience, you're not alone. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and I'll walk through the bits that matter most once you've clicked through. First off, let's talk about the problem most home gym owners run into: space and safety. You want a range of weights that lets you progress from a light warm-up to a heavy set for deadlifts, but you also need something that stays put on the floor, doesn't roll around when you set it down, and won't dent your hardwood. The RitFit set tries to solve that with a hexagonal shape that resists rolling, a rubber coating that protects both the dumbbell and the floor, and a knurled handle that stays secure even when you're sweating. Those are the concrete, everyday concerns that turn a generic metal dumbbell into something you can actually use without a second thought. What I found most helpful is how the set is broken into weight tiers. You can start with the 60-pound bundle, 515 pounds pairs, if you're a beginner or someone who does a lot of higher rep work, and step up to the 200-pound configuration, 1,030 pounds pairs, when you need that extra load for lower rep strength training. The modular nature means you're not forced into buying a single massive set that you'll never fully use. It also lines up with the way most people actually progress, adding a few pounds at a time, rather than jumping from a 15 pounds pair straight to 45 pounds. Now, let's picture a typical workout in a small apartment. You pull the rack out of the closet, set it against the wall, and the whole collection sits on a rubber mat. The anti-roll hex shape means you can set a 30 pounds dumbbell down after a set of shoulder presses without worrying about it sliding into your shin. The knurled grip feels secure whether you're doing a bicep curl or a renegade row. And because the coating is rubber, the dumbbells don't clang against each other when you're moving them between sets. In a real-world sense, that translates to less noise for downstairs neighbors and fewer accidental floor scratches, two things that matter more than the premium steel claim you see on paper. There are a few trade-offs to be aware of. The rubber coating adds a bit of bulk, so the dumbbells are slightly larger in diameter than a comparable steel-only pair. If you have a tight storage space, the rack does a good job of keeping everything tidy, but you still need to account for the added width of each handle. Some users I've spoken to mention that the rubber can start to feel a little sticky after a sweaty session, which means you may need to wipe them down more often to keep the grip consistent. It's a minor inconvenience compared with the benefit of protecting your floor, but it's worth noting if you're a high-intensity cardio lover who sweats a lot. Another practical point is the durability of the rubber over time. The unbeatable quality guarantee the brand advertises is reassuring, and the fact that the set has earned a 4.7-star average from 23 reviewers suggests that most owners haven't seen the coating peel or crack after months of use. In contrast, I've seen cheaper rubber-coated dumbbells where the coating flaked after a few weeks, exposing the metal core. With RitFit, the coating feels thicker and more resilient, which aligns with those higher ratings. Who should buy this set? If you're someone who works out at home at least 3 times a week, wants a range of weights without buying multiple single-pair sets, and you value a quiet, floor-friendly environment, this is a solid match. The set also makes sense for people who are building a full-body routine. Think dumbbell squats, lunges, chest presses, rows, and overhead work, all with one piece of equipment. The included rack adds a storage solution that keeps your space looking organized, which is a big plus for anyone who's turned their living room into a gym. On the flip side, if you're a powerlifter or an athlete who regularly lifts well beyond 200 pounds per dumbbell, you'll outgrow this before the rubber coating even gets a chance to show wear. Similarly, if you have an extremely limited budget and only need a single pair of light weights for rehab or mobility work, you might be better off buying a pair of budget steel dumbbells and a separate storage solution. The set's modularity is great, but you're paying for the rack and the full range of plates, which adds cost that a single pair would not. From a value perspective, the price point makes more sense when you look at the total cost of buying individual pairs plus a rack separately. The rubber coating and anti-roll design are built in,